Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Xinfin or XDC. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. But with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about some stuff. So obviously, Bitcoin still ranging around the 38K mark. Just waiting for confirmation on, if we are going to see the indices open very good or not. This video will be going live after, of course, the indices do open. So, hey, if you're watching this in the future, let me know how it goes. But overall, when we are talking about Xinfin, I have been addressing it here and there on some occasions. I do want to talk to you guys more about this asset, though, because, we really are seeing a lot of money shifting towards some utility gems, but also ISO20022 is just around the corner, and a lot of these assets that are supporting that messaging format, I do see a bright future for a lot of them. Now obviously, Xinfin has been hitting some lows here. I've been addressing this to you guys as well. We are basically at those summer low points, at about roughly 4716. We basically dropped a little bit below that. Honestly, when we are currently, looking at this, chart, the next point, if we don't, see a nice impulse here, would be around like the 3 cent zone. So, I just want you guys to understand that, although these assets do look incredible, they have a ton of potential behind them, it doesn't mean that you have to FOMO into them at any price that you see. Wait it out. We are in a slow bleeding market. So, just really look at some of those levels on XDC that we could be targeting, especially in the past, more so like high demand zones, because like right now we're basically a little bit below the point that we were at during those summer lows, and now I'm really kind of targeting like 3 cents, like around this 3 cent zone down here in this major area if we don't have a reversal here soon. So with that being said, I do want to talk to you guys about some positives happening on the network though, and why. I definitely do think that XDC is a great, asset to hold for the future. But of course, like I said, you do not need to FOMO in at any sort of price. Always do your own research and have your entry plan and your exit plan. Now with ISO 222 and stuff like that, there's a lot of things being built behind the scenes through the Xinfin network that a lot of people just are not looking at. More so, with R3 Corda and stuff like that. In fact, we do see here R3 Corda Bridge, financial messaging, ISO 222, and payments XDC on the XDC network. This is from Impel, or Impel, if you will. Now, this is actually not live yet. This is coming soon. I thought this was very interesting because also this has direct connections to other assets that are already built on the Xinfin network. For example, WADSPay. If you guys don't know about this token, this is actually a pretty interesting token as well. I've always talked to you guys about, XSwap protocol and stuff like that. But we do see here it becomes a no-brainer decision to utilize our powerful technology. Even more special is how WADSPay will also partner with Impel for financial messaging and payments to service their customers better. And again, like I said, with ISO 222 just around the corner, and with a lot of these messaging formats or format-driven assets that are supporting this, I think that a lot of these are going to get a spotlight on them. More so, I don't think a lot of individuals are paying attention to XDC as a token, but also Xinfin as a network. And I really do think that people should start to wake up. Here is a little bit of a breakdown on Impel actually. So mission statement to grow adoption and offerings on the XDC network to make successful experiences. Vision statement securely and instantly move financial messages, including cross-border payments as a cost-effective solution. Now, those cross-border payments, I've addressed to you guys about how massive of a market they are. We're talking about a $156 trillion market. That is something to not disregard at all. But we do see, initial service offerings Impel is bringing to market: financial messaging, ISO 222 compliant, financial payments using XDC coin, interoperable bridge linking R3 Corda and the XDC network. Now, I've always addressed R3 Corda and the connections here. I'm going to be talking to you guys about them in this video actually, so just stay tuned for that. But highly secure messaging DApp using layer 2 security as well. The XDC network Xinfin project has always been most serious about providing a first-class network, so it's shows true leadership as they have a strong partnership with one of the very best development firms in the business, Lab 577. We're going to be addressing that here shortly as well. And announcements for this partnership in the R3 Corda XDC and Tropical Bridge could be found here if you guys do want to read more about this. Then here's that tweet or a quote from that tweet originally, talking more so about even WAD's pay, but this is a no-brainer solutions for traditional banking institutions as well as emerging financial businesses to provide super fast transaction speed, military-grade security, and most cost-effective solutions. And I'm excited for this. I'm honestly very excited for a lot of this stuff to be built out fully. Now let's connect the dots here. So first off, we go back to DASL. Now this is a direct connection with Xinfin as well. The power of DASL. We are delighted to support NCashOfficial with DASL to get the crypto bridge in place, making it a first for the public Corda network. This is where I'm connecting the dots with R3 Corda. Now, obviously, I'm sure that a lot of you probably know about R3 Corda and the scale of that network in itself. It's massive, but we're going to be addressing this. Now, the power of DSL, accounts and tagging, UI and API, issuance and tokenization, asset servicing, transfer and trading, reporting, fiat and crypto bridges, escrow and settlement. I mean, honestly, this is a direct connection to a lot of, innovation on this network. I mean, this is really, taking one step ahead in terms of utility on, of course, this network. So this is going to be very interesting to watch this be built out fully, but this is also a bridge for, R3 Corda with Xinfin. So a lot of this stuff that we're going to be seeing, even from R3 side, also kind of directly connects back to Xinfin. And also Lab 577, by the way, for you guys that, don't know about this, this is like that, this is basically what I just read here on this article, talking more so about a development firm. This is actually huge because a single API to connect to a global network of financial services. Dazraf just spoke at QuarterCon about DASL. Again, like I said, check out Lab 577 to find more about this and get in touch. But this is that integration. This is what this is why I'm invested into Xinfin. You got to really see the vision here with a lot of these connections, but this is that API and SPI. This is connected to permission DLTs, banking APIs, cryptographic public networks, sell-side securitization, identity services, accounting and payroll systems, brokers and payment providers, custodians as well, and of course we do see Corda being labeled there. It's funny because these massive bridges that are being built out here through API connections. Yeah, I even talked to you guys about Q&T, right? With those single API gateways, those API gateways are huge. But of course, like I said, this is the connections that are being built with Corda. You got to pay attention to Corda. This is huge because, shout out to Utility Theory for this, but this is how this will all kind of play a huge role here. So obviously, we're going to break down Corda and its massive ecosystem, but here we have R3 Corda private/public CBDC/banking network to the DASL bridge, all the way to XDC ISO20022. Here's where you see EVM smart contracts instant settlement with a 0.0001 fees, Utility Theory, Cryptoverse connection vision. Here's the connection vision to, you see like trade tech over there or trade finance. This is going to be that direct connection or streamlined connection, if you will, to these massive ecosystems. And that ecosystem, now this goes back to 2019, so obviously this has grown since 2019, but here's those massive connections that R3 Corda or Corda itself has. This is the R3 ecosystem. So you see all the banks up there, like Citi, you see Barclays, UBS, Wells Fargo, HSBC, Credit Suisse, Bank of America. These are huge names, and this is 2019. So mind you, a lot has changed since then. We see Delivery Expertise, Accenture, EY. There's a lot of players here, guys, and these are some main, these are huge, names here. You see the infrastructure as well with Oracle, Microsoft, stuff like that. This is a massive, ecosystem that is going to pretty much be innovated through this massive bridge. But obviously, when we're talking about, R3 Corda, I also think that the direct connection here could be something much bigger than just, hey, it's a bridge. R3 Corda, in my opinion, has been kind of working with XDC for a while now. We see trade finance here, discover how R3 is reshaping trade finance networks across the world. They are utilizing DLT/blockchain technology for this. You guys do see why Corda here for this, but, in my opinion, we know who the trade finance giant is. I don't need to tell you guys that. I mean, you guys are probably all aware at this point, after I've been talking to you guys about Xinfin for so long in the trade finance area. But I think that these connections run so much deeper. But I do think that when we're talking about this bridge, I think that this DSL bridge is going to be huge when we are connecting to all of these clients that are utilizing Corda. Okay, like I don't think people realize just how massive R3 Corda is as a direct connection with Xinfin. I've seen, comments and tweets about, how R3 Corda is not utilizing Xinfin at all, but that's the case. Like, you got to look into things and research it because the connections run much deeper than anyone can really kind of see. This is why I say that, they are building in silence. So, a lot of these assets do get, I would say overlooked, but R3 Cordas in many industries around the world, and you could look into some of these, like for example, like banking, capital markets, all this kind of stuff. Trade finance. I don't know if this is actually going to open. It's going to go back to this one. Yeah. So, I really want to show you guys some of their customers. Actually, I think that I can actually by going to this case studies here. But a lot of this is for like supply chain and stuff in terms of the trade finance area. Here's some of like the companies that are working with them. And here's like, their testimonies, for example, like Vodafone, which I've just talked to you guys about Vodafone just recently. I honestly think it was in my video from yesterday, actually. But a lot of these are huge connections back to Xinfin, in a sense on what they're really kind of focused on. And the connections run so much deeper here. And I really want to address this tweet here because it really kind of made me think about where a lot of individuals are kind of, stuck in this market at. So we do see invest in coins that will be used in the institutional sphere. Don't be fooled by advertising coins for the upcoming virtual asset era. I was deceived by studying virtual assets for 4 years. Global financial forces are preparing for XDC. Focus on more research, and we do see, global currency XDC. Now, when we were talking about all of this stuff that is happening with Xinfin, I do think that Xinfin is probably one of the most incredible choices in this market to kind of invest in. The funny thing is that it doesn't really get any spotlight, and honestly, the price appreciation has not been incredible. I mean, if you are an investor back here in the initial days of 2021, and I'm not going to claim that I was or anything like that, I got in more so like around this point here. So this is actually why I'm looking forward for this to actually be targeted again, because I look forward to re-upping my bag, if you will. But if you invest back here, yeah, I mean, incredible gains to the all-time highs. But, comparing this to something else, if you're looking at other assets in this space, this really didn't do much in terms of its massive gains. 3 years ago, yeah, it's up 30,000%, but there's assets that have done 30,000% just from 2020 to 2021 alone. So we really got to look at the idea on like, this is why I compare XDC to like XRP, for an example, a lot because they are building out some incredible things. Like we do see here, the open source Quorum blockchain was developed by JP Morgan. Xinfin's XDC blockchain is a fork from Quorum. We'll talk about XDC later, but for now, just know that they made some significant changes to the Quorum protocol. And of course, we do see here in this next slide, Xinfin's XDC network, the first blockchain company to join the global TFD initiative. Honestly, XDC is the chosen one for a lot of stuff in terms of trade finance and stuff like that. And we do see R3 Corda now has a bridge to public blockchains with the arrival of Ethereum-based XDC. And of course, we do see Visa teams with consensus for central bank digital currency pilot. And then down here, we do see consensus acquires, this is going to load, acquires JP Morgan's Quorum to advance enterprise blockchain adoption. Followed by what do consensus recent CBDC pilots reveal about how central banks are approaching digital currencies on Ethereum. Followed by, again, WadsPay Xinfin with, of course, MasterCard. I mean, a lot of this, you really got to pay attention to the things that are happening here because, WadsPay definitely is huge. I think it's a huge partnership, or not partnership, but asset that is built on the Xinfin network, but it also has some major partnerships as well. A lot of this, is direct connections back to the institutional and enterprise grade area. Like, for example, like R3 Corda, like this is an enterprise grade asset. You could read all about them if you want. Like, they have a massive history. You can read all about their corporate stuff and all that kind of stuff. But you really got to look at the ecosystem here. Like, this ecosystem is from 2019, but you could really kind of see the major names here and why, Corda is such a huge, massive name in this space, especially from the Corda blockchain itself. Like, a lot of these players are already interconnected through, of course, something like this bridge with Xinfin, but also Xinfin has some major names behind it. I've talked to you guys about Andre Casterman, why he's such a key player here, and when we're talking about things that are unfolding within the trade finance area as well, it's just clear to me that Xinfin is probably one of the most overlooked assets in the space, and not a lot of people are talking about it. Like, I don't even think Xinfin gets a lot of spotlight on YouTube, which is kind of sad because, everyone's talking about assets that have already increased in value. Like, trust me, I talked to you guys about some assets that have increased in value that, aren't, I would say they're not like the best choice for ROI value just because they have, a market cap of like $1 billion plus, or like maybe they have a market cap of like $30 billion. Like for an example, like XRP gets a lot of talk on YouTube, but XDC is one that just kind of gets thrown to the side. This sitting at about a $585.2 million market cap is just unbelievable to me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you did. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.